What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another Rent-A-Girlfriend review. We are on chapter 431, and as you can see in the thumbnail, Kazuya obviously in the gym, looking ripped as shit, totally not scrawny as fuck right here. He needs to probably start stopping on some steroids, you know what I'm saying, some trin, some test, all the bullshit, bro, all the fucking shit. We need to start bench pressing like 500 pounds already, Kazuya. I don't know what the fuck we're doing. Anyway, last chapter, it seemed like Kazuya actually started to lock the fuck in a little bit, you know what I'm saying? He started taking life a little bit more seriously, which is obviously good. And then, obviously, we saw last chapter that Ruko was like, fuck you, Chizuru, I don't want to call you, you know what I'm saying? The call thing is still happening, so let's just get into the fucking chapter. Anyway, the first thing we see in this chapter is apparently, supposedly supposed to be Kazuya looking ripped as shit, dude. Do I believe this? No, this is fake right here. I truly don't believe this transformation right here, dude. There is no way Kazuya is not doing behind the counter steroids, some trin, some tests, you know what I'm saying, dude? Something. There's something going on here to where this is unreal. This is fake. This is fake right here, dude. There's no way this is actually real right here. But anyway, we see Kazuya here fucking glazing the shit out of himself in a mirror right here, looking jacked as shit, dude. And I just can't really believe we've gone this far, you know what I'm saying? 400 chapters in, and we've only just gotten to the abs part, guys. Crazy shit right here. Really, the best development we've seen so far in the series is Kazuya getting abs. To be honest, that might be the greatest thing this series has to even offer. Anyway, we get our title artwork here, and we see Sumi on the fucking bicycle right here, fucking working out, you know what I'm saying? Let's go, Sumi. But then we see Fish over here dropping some elite level philosophy ball knowledge. He says, growth isn't the evolution of the mind, it's obtaining something you can still hold on to 10 years later. Absolutely insane quote, dude. I might have to put that in my senior quote right there, dead ass. Anyway, Kazuya goes back to glazing himself or whatever he's doing right here, jacking himself. I don't really know what the fuck he's doing, to be honest, dude. We all know Kazuya, right? He's in these imaginative scenarios with Chizuru, always doing this pretty much, man. But I am pretty proud of Kazuya, you know what I'm saying, dude? It seems like his hard work is actually paying off, which is obviously good. Anyway, Kazuya then gets past that scenario that he had in his head, right? And he realizes that his driving test, his full shit, his license test is on July 4th, right? He's got on the calendar, he's prepared, you know what I'm saying? Or at least I hope he's fucking prepared, okay? He's putting the work, he's putting the driver's ed classes, okay? He's put in the time, okay? He's put the practice in, dude. If he fucking fails the driver's test, dude, I don't really know what the fuck's gonna happen, dude. I think we all might just freak the fuck out, to be honest. He has to. There's no way this dude does not pass his fucking test. There's no possible way. Anyway, as we can see here, we see that the driver's test is on July 4th, right? Which is coming up, obviously, I guess, in the Rent-A-Girlfriend timeline. But it's also interesting to see that it is a confirmed date. Like, this chapter that we're looking at right now is confirmed to be on June 23rd, okay? Which is pretty interesting. I don't remember the last time that there was like a confirmed like date, you know what I'm saying, date, time and stuff in a Rent-A-Girlfriend chapter. It's good because it shows us that the July 11th date is also coming up, but it shows us that a lot of other shit is also coming up, obviously. Anyway, then Kazuya debates about telling Chizuru, of course, about, you know, the place they're going to go to for the date, obviously. And it was at like the animal farm or whatever the fuck it was called. And he's like debating like, okay, should I keep it a surprise or should I tell Chizuru? Because I know Chizuru would want to like dress up for the occasion, all the bullshit. And basically he's just like debating in his head what the fuck he should really be doing. But then Kazuya starts thinking about the play that Chizuru's going to be in, obviously. And he's like, okay, let me see if I can, like, go to the fucking play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to watch the fucking play, which makes sense, right? So Kazuya, I guess he, like, gets out his phone, I guess, and, like, orders a ticket or something right here. I don't really know. I guess he's, like, ordering a ticket, or at least he's trying to order a ticket, at least. But I guess Kazuya ended up like looking up Chizuru and then like kind of going from there to see. I don't really know how it works, but I guess that like if you look up an actor or an actress, right, you can kind of see like what plays they're going to be in, I guess. I guess that's how it works. Anyway, Kazuya looks up Chizuru, right? He starts freaking out because she's so cute or whatever. But then he gets down to business, and it's revealed to us that the play, all the tickets are sold the fuck out. So Kazuya can't come, but it's also pretty impressive that Chizuru's in a play where everything is just sold the fuck out, apparently. But then it is revealed to us through, I guess, like an email app right here, is that Kazuya, or this company, right, has rejected Kazuya from whatever position he wanted to be in. And you can see Kazuya, he doesn't really, I think he took it better than I expected, honestly. It looks like he's kind of just like mad about it, not really frustrated a lot. Like, he's kind of just like looking at his phone a little bit. I thought he'd probably like break down or something, but apparently not. Apparently he's ready to move on, I guess. But after the rejection from the company, Kazuya reminds himself that he has to keep moving on, right? Which is important. You have to keep trying, you know, go to other companies, go to other places, apply for other positions, you know what I'm saying, dude? Get the job in the end, okay? That is the important factor that we need to consider here. And Kazuya, he seems to be pretty locked in about the job, so, I mean, yeah, I guess he's absolutely just tapped the fuck in, apparently. Now, this panel right here is probably the most important out of the entire chapter. Kazuya says that even if Mizuhara, or like Chizuru, even if she rejects him, Kazuya still has the job hunting, the muscles, you know what I'm saying, the working out, dude. He has all that stuff, right? Which is important here, because I would expect, as a fan of Rent-A-Girlfriend, I would expect Kazuya to maybe be a little bit too attached to this decision that Chizuru's going to make at the end of this date, right? But instead, he recognizes that he has all the stuff that he's been working up towards, right? The driving, the fucking working out, all of that. He still has that, which I think is pretty impressive growth, to be honest. Anyway, after Kazuya gives him like himself, you know, like one more like final push, I guess, or whatever, we cut to Chizuru, who in the last chapter tried to call Ruka, and of course Ruka, she said fucking no, fuck that shit, right? So she's like looking at her phone, and she's kind of just wondering like, what the fuck is Ruka doing, I guess, basically. So yeah, we get to see Chizuru, who's like, I guess she's just like chillaxing in her bed or whatever she's doing here. She seems to be pretty relaxed, I guess, not really stressed out about relatively anything going on in her life, apparently. But then we see that Chizuru might be a little bit like stressing out over this Ruka thing. We see that Ruka has like read her message, obviously. Ruka, being Ruka, didn't respond to the message. And it's kind of maybe freaking Chizuru out a little bit, obviously. But then at the bottom of this page right here in this panel, it says that Chizuru doesn't feel like, she doesn't like this feeling. She feels relieved, but doesn't like the feeling of feeling relieved, I guess. It's kind of weird, right? Because if I was to be relieved of something, I would feel great. Like, that's one thing off anything I'm doing, obviously. Chizuru, on the other hand, I guess she's going through so much stress that also it almost feels like weird to feel relieved, I guess. So Chizuru is basically like going through the situations in her head, obviously, right? She's saying like, okay, if Ruka were to call back, like, could I, like, what would I even do, basically, right? Like, would Ruka ever forgive me? Probably not, because Ruka's a loser, obviously. But and again, it's like, Chizuru, you did really, like, force the Ruka and Kazuya thing to happen in the first place, like, all the way back in, like, season 2 or whatever, right? So it's like, what would Chizuru even do here? Let's just be real. Anyway, right here on this page, Chizuru says that, I can't even believe that, like, I might actually be in love with Kazuya or whatever, right? Which is basically, they're just like, I mean, he's basically just like feeding us the same type of shit over and over again. Like, we already know that Chizuru likes Kazuya. We know this, bro. We don't need to see all these pages again and again over, okay? Over and over and over again. Like, no one really cares anymore. You know what I'm saying, dude? I just want to see the date. I want to see what Chizuru has to say to Ruka. I want to see what Ruka has to say to Chizuru. You know what I'm saying, dude? Are we going to get the boxing match? That's the real question here. Anyway, we then see that Kazuya did in fact text Chizuru at some point in time about, you know, the place they're going to, right? And Chizuru, I guess she like looks down at the text and then she starts thinking about the car kiss, right? And she starts blushing, obviously. Okay, we get it, Chizuru. We want to know, what the fuck is your response to the text message that Kazuya just sent? But then she like turns on her AirPlay, looks at her TV, and I guess she's like, I don't really know what this is, to be honest here. It looks like Chizuru is on the TV and like, maybe she's like reviewing footage or something. I don't know what she's really doing, dude. But apparently she seems to be pretty locked in on the situation here. So good for her, I guess. And then Chizuru responds to the text with some like, basically some nonchalant shit. She basically goes, okay, thanks. Like, thanks for the detail, Chizuru, holy shit. But then it's revealed that Kazuya lost his fucking pump, bro. He lost the pump. He was staying in the mirror for too long, bro. The pump went away. The lighting's not as good anymore, man. And the steroids have not kicked in once again, dude. It's GG's, Kazuya. You're cooked. Anyway, this chapter of Rent a Girlfriend gets an 8 out of 10 on my Rent a Girlfriend scale. I really like this chapter. I like how we see Kazuya and Chizuru mainly throughout the chapter, and I feel like we haven't really gotten that in quite a while, to be honest. So it's good to see that the two main characters of the actual series are actually locking it in, okay? It's good to see that Kazuya is preparing well. He's taking the health. He's doing the driving shit, bro. He's doing the job shit. And it also seems like Chizuru is like locking on her play type shit. So it's good to me to see that the two main characters seem to be chillaxing. They seem to be having a good time with whatever the fuck they're doing, obviously, which I think is pretty good. All I'm really worried about is Ruka and Umi just like absolutely just ruining the entire thing, and we have to spend the next 70 chapters getting back to where we are right now. That's probably what's gonna happen. That's basically probably what's gonna happen, honestly.